There were Muslims and non-Muslims. And one of the most amazing things happened when the Muslim kids came after the end of the talk. They said, go to all of the high schools, Muslim high schools in the United States, and tell those kids, Harun, you're lucky. And these are high schoolers, right? Don't all of us want to go to public school and not wear the uniform and maybe be around everyone who's watching movies and doing everything? We want to be there. We'd rather had a good time. But they said, tell those high schoolers who go to a Muslim school, they're very lucky. And I said, I poked like you would, but you don't have to wear a uniform. You don't have to pray in school. And that's where they stopped me. That was the first thing they said. But Brother Wisam, we want to pray. Brother Wisam, we want a place. Not only do we want to pray, and the school gave us a place to pray, but Brother Wisam, we feel shy because there's only 2 or 3 Muslim kids praying. But we wish that there was a place where nothing else was going on, so at least we could pray. Yes, we're not good people, and we said bad things, and maybe we don't read Qur'an correctly, but at least tell the kids who go to Muslim school that we wanted a chance. We wanted a chance. So I asked them, why aren't you guys a little bit more inclined to Islam? Maybe read Qur'an, maybe take a small halaqah, read a small book of Tawheed, small book. They said, you know what, Brother Islam, if we went to Islamic school, we would have definitely done it. If we were in Muslim school, then we would have definitely learned about Allah, we would have definitely become good Muslims. And everyone in this room knows what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about being good in front of everyone. But you know when your mom calls you and she said, did you pray Asr? And you're like, yeah. Did you pray Asr? I'm gonna. What? Yes, I did. Wait, how did I'm gonna turn into yes, I did. Inshallah, I will, Mom. You know more than that you know what it means to be a good person. You know that it means whether someone's Muslim or non-Muslim, you're still going to deal with them like they're human beings. And that was the question that I threw over to those kids. And then I spoke at an Islamic school. So I came to Islamic school, I started, and I was like, hey guys, how do you like the school? And the first thing out of 2 separate talks, so I went to an Islamic school and I asked all the kids, I was like, how do you like it? They're like, it's boring and we're always around Muslims and we don't like it. And what did the kids wish? What did all the kids in Muslim school wish? They wish they could go to public school. They all said, I wish we'd go to public school. Brother Islam, there we have to fight for our Islam, and there we would dress like Muslims, and there we would be proud to be Muslim. So I said, wait a minute. The public school kids want to go to Islamic school, and the Islamic school kids want to go to... So then who's going to benefit? Then who's going to get better? And that's where I stopped. And I was praying Sunnah today, right guys? I was praying Sunnah today, and I could hear you, hey, that's Brother Wisam. Isn't that Brother Wisam? He's so tall. I'm like, okay, alhamdulillah, but I'm praying Sunnah. I shouldn't be listening to you. But this made me think. When I was younger and I was having lunch with a friend of mine, you guys might know him, his name's Yasir Qadi. And he had said to me, he goes, when Yasir Qadi was baby Yasir Qadi, he never wanted to grow up and become Sheikh Yasir Qadi. He wanted to grow up and help people. He wanted to grow up and change the way things were happening. He's like, this is not right. Islam should be easier for us to understand. It's from Allah. So maybe you don't like salah. Maybe you don't like to do something, but who told us to do that? Allah. It's kind of like a generic answer, right? So my time trickles away, but I'll only remind you guys one simple thing. Right now, we're sitting here in this Islamic school, and I'm only actually talking to 5 of you. And I don't know who you are. You could be sisters, you could be brothers. I'm only actually talking to 5 of you because the rest of you, you're going to be like the public school, Islamic school kids. You're just going to worry about back and forth. But there are 5 or 6 of you in this room who are going to get up and say, I am going to benefit and drink from the same well that Brother Wisam drank from. And does anyone know who my 5th grade teacher was? Does anyone know who my 5th grade teacher was? Who was my 5th grade teacher? Brother Jamal Abdul Kareem. And that's why I'm so tall. If you study with him, you'll grow. Kind of, sort of. So I asked you to do this much. When I was growing up, there was just Brother Jamal. And my dad was the principal. My dad was the principal of the school, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with someone who I benefited from. But I'm telling you the truth, I got yelled at. I was the bad kid. I made mistakes. Any of you who know Mus'ab, he's my nephew, so you know how I was when I was little. Mus'ab and I are very close together in relationship. He acts a little bit, we are from the same cut. But when did I benefit from Brother Jamal the most? When did I benefit from drinking and benefiting from what was in Islam? When did I do that? After class. When he would wrap up that little binder and he would put his chalk away. Even if I got yelled at that day, I would still stay behind and say, how you doing, Brother Jamal? Everything good? So I kept saying and thinking to myself, yes, I got in trouble and I got kicked out of class. And I remember when I got kicked out of class. Because I was being bad. But guys and sisters, none of us is going to be perfect. But I knew when to turn the switch on and off. I knew when I was coming up to the line and I was going to hurt someone's feelings, I backed off. And there's only two things Brother Jamal pointed out to us. Only two things that stuck with me my entire life. And there are two relationships, he said, never break these relationships. And I'm sure you know what they are, but I'm still trying to find those 5 or 6 people. Maybe it's the sisters, maybe it's the brothers, who are sitting here saying, you know what? Brother Wisam went to Islamic school 20 years ago, and now Islamic schools are better. Now I have a place to pray. Now I have a place to be. I'm going to get beyond all of this small talk, and I'm going to make two relationships very strong. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, أَمَرَ تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. He told me 2 relationships will never be broken. Keep you and Allah always together. And what's the only way to talk to Allah, guys? You take a SIM card and you put the SIM card right here. And when you touch this SIM card to this carpet, it dials directly to Allah. And Allah says, you're little, what do you want from me? You touch your head here and you say, Allah, I did mess up in tahfeedh class and Shaykh is upset with me today. I did spill water while making wudu, Allah forgive me, and Brother Harun's angry. I had one relationship to keep, no matter whether I was sent to the principal's office or I got in trouble, there was one thing I didn't mess with. And people used to say, oh, he's a mama's boy, because I would come and I would do my prayer. And then I would go, while I was praying, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to do this now. But I made sure that I was talking to Allah. And the other relationship that I had to keep, does anyone remember? وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ. So it wasn't just about being a mama's boy. It wasn't about just doing everything mom said. But it was about doing something wrong and going back and saying, Mom, I lied. Wisam, did you go there? Yeah. But at the end, I would still come and say, no, Mom, this is what I did. And she would say, you lied? That one. Yeah, one time, Mom. I did. But I can't lie to you. I can't lie to you. So 2 relationships that I want you 2 to keep, all of you to keep. The rest of you are just going to say, yay, he burned 15 minutes of class, and you're going to leave. And Brother Naman will come, and Sheikh Yasser will come, and Sheikh Yasser Burjas will come. But only a few of you will take these words and say, in one building, and there must be more. You have Brother Jamal. You have 5-time Qiraat champion on Islamic City 5 years in a row. And you're like, oh, yo, who's that? Sheikh Harun, right? Hafidullah. I had to travel to learn Qur'an, but you have Sheikh sitting here teaching you in English. I didn't speak the language. I had to learn. And I had to wait. But Allah gave you all of that. And sisters, you might be like, oh, it's just brothers. What about Sister Shabana? What about Sister Anjum? What about the other sisters who are teaching you and staying here? May Allah preserve all of them. So I'm asking you this much. The kids who are in public school want to be here. And I don't know where you want to be. But what are you going to do with what's in your hand? That's all I'm going to ask you. Because some of you are going to go home and play Call of Duty. Someone's going to go home and do this. Someone's going to go home and watch some CW TV show and be like, that's haram. So then why are you watching it? Oh, it's like, Sheikh, is this TV show halal? Why are you watching? Usually when people send me emails, is this TV show halal? It's like, wait a minute, I'm going to go watch it, and then I'll figure out if it's okay, and I'll text you back. No, we don't need that, guys. So I said I would take 10, 12 minutes. All I'm going to ask you to do. Yasser Qadhi, I think even Brother Jamal Abdul Kareem never grew up saying, I'm going to become a national speaker. I'm going to make YouTube videos. He never grew up saying, I'm going to find Wisam Sharieff and Hamnadeen and Sofa Sharif, and I'm going to change their life. He just grew up saying, I'm going to change. I'm going to change something. And I'll end with the quote that one of my teachers said to me while we completed the first book of tafsir. He said, Wisam, you can live, if you can, oh sister, can you take a Qur'an from the shelf? Just anyone, open the Qur'an. Brother, open the Qur'an. Just open it, yeah, open it wide. Okay, open it wide, lift it up. Good. So my sheikh held up the Qur'an just like that. And he pointed, yeah, hold it up. And he pointed at the text. He said, Wisam, you can live in the text of history, where people will read about you for generations and you will leave a legacy. Or, you see that little side, the margin on the side where it's blank? You know when you read a book, you take little notes and you write notes in the margin? He said, Wisam, you could be someone's note in a margin. Only that guy would read it. He said, live in the text and live forever. Or live in the margin and live for a few years. So 5 of you, 10 of you, 20 of you decide who's going to live in the text. Because the rest of us, yes, everyone in this room has played Mario Party 8. Good, great. There you go. Fun. Okay. Anyone else who plays Mario Party, holler at me. The point is, we're all going to go home and do that. But then there are going to be few of us who go home, finish their salah, who go home and see their mother and kiss them on the forehead and say, look, mom, I know that's weird. I know that that's weird, but I learned that this is what the people of Islam used to do. The early Salaf would come and wash their parents' feet on Thursday nights and say, we're cleaning Jannah so you can walk to Jummah. It's weird, right? It's like, oh, I don't do that. Pays Walmart guy $8 to wash your parents' feet. Get a pedicure, yeah? Get a pedicure. So we end on this small concept. Live in the text or live in the margin. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you tremendously. Don't leave here as a good talk. Leave here knowing that you have to connect to the book of Allah and you have to benefit from the well that is in this room. All of you look thirsty, so go and drink. Don't, after you get yelled at, then come back and say, Sheikh Harun, is there anything I can do? Mom, is there anything I can do? After you get yelled at. After Musa, you do something wrong, after Harun does something wrong, then go back and be like, look, Mom, I still want to benefit. I still want to take care of you. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showers this community tremendously. I know you expected a longer talk. May Allah bless all of the teachers. Brother Jamal, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve you. Sheikh Harun, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve you. The mashayikh of the most important part of our lives, of the Qur'an school, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve them. And I pray that everyone says Ameen in their heart and makes dua for their teachers every day. Imam Abu Hanifa, and I'm closing on every quote. Imam Abu Hanifa had once said, students should make dua for their teachers. And this is Imam Abu Hanifa saying this. He said, because teachers always make dua for their students. Jazakallah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.